Why South Australia? Is it sustainable?
It is sustainable, and that's a good question, because what we've done in the past is we've sort of, like when we got the original submarine project, have a project by project based approach to economic development. The next project will be the Holy Grail, but ultimately we have to have sustainable industry. Now, when we saw the opportunity for the air warfare destroyer, we knew that it wasn't about building or integrating the weapon systems into 3 ships. It was about building a capability, a skill set, that meant that every time an Australian government had to build a modern piece of weaponry, that the skill set lie in Adelaide, South Australia. American giants like Raytheon, Lockheed, British giants like Ultra Electronics, BAE Systems, these huge global defence companies who also do a lot of civil work, are now basing themselves in South Australia. And we have literally hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of highly skilled, well-paid engineers, software experts, systems integration experts, now residing and calling Adelaide home, which again just adds to the value of what the skill base in the state. So the next complicated systems requirement for the Australian Armed Forces, or indeed for civil application, it'll come to where the skills are. Any modern economy, in a globalised economy, attracts investment, not because it's the lowest cost centre or because it offers financial subsidies. Investment follows skills. Where investment dollars can get the best brain power, that's how investment, or that's the way investment is tracked these days, and that's why we're doing all we can to maintain and upgrade our skills base here in South Australia.
Kevin, is our infrastructure up to it? I mean, trying to get some fast connections in Adelaide is just ridiculously hard.
Well, look, I think Adelaide's been a very planned city. We're not the richest state in the nation, so our capacity to build infrastructure has not necessarily been as capable as other states. But what we've done since coming to office, we have quadrupled our capital spend. We have built the Bakewell Underpass. We've built the bridges over Port Adelaide in concert with the federal government, the Northern Expressway, and we'll have the further Northern Corridor underway very shortly. Well, already underway. We've made a decision to double the Southern Expressway into a proper functioning 2-way freeway. So infrastructure is being put in place, electrifying the rail system. These are all designed, the Anzac Highway South Road underpass. These are massively expensive projects. They take a long time to develop. But I think, we have been playing catch up, but I think I think people will look back and see that the infrastructure of this state is much better today than what it was a decade ago. And of course on water, we're building and will be operational by the end of this year, 2010, a desalination plant that will be able to provide up to 50% of the city's water needs when fully operational. These are major investment improvements and infrastructure improvements that serve the city well.
What about fibre optic?
Well, the government itself has put a number of millions of dollars into fibre optic cable, particularly in regional centres where we know that's a market failure and where we have to get that into regional centres. But I'm encouraged by the federal government's National Broadband Corporation. I think that's an exciting nation-building exercise where the federal government will be rolling out fibre optic cable to the vast majority of Australian homes and businesses. If we're truly going to be a great global economy, which we are now, and we have to maintain our competitive advantage, we have to roll broadband out. And the only people with the financial capability of doing that are governments. They're national building projects. They're like the Snowy River scheme. It's like the creation of Telstra or Telecom, or what the original telecommunications company was of Australia. They were government-owned entities. It's only governments that have the capacity and are capable of rolling out these nation-building programs.
Kevin, at Victor, we can't get speed at our Victor office. More specifically, is the government putting any funding into just short-term fix, patch-up, if you like to say it, to get us going?
Well, look, we have been doing a number of regional areas with a government-funded program. We're not able to or capable of doing every regional part of South Australia, so I'm not sure where Victor sits in that system, but I know we have been rolling money out. But ultimately the answer will be, and it'll be up to speed very quickly, it's already rolling out through Tasmania now, It is not a difficult exercise. It's it can take some time, but to roll out fibre optic nationally is a priority of the Rudd Labor government. And I think if people look at it objectively, it will be a sensible piece of nation building. Just like when telephones were first on the market, it was a government-owned corporation that had to roll it out because private investment would neither take the capital risk or had the capital or had the time frame appetite for getting a return.